How's it going? I'm in my studio today, doing some work. I'm working on a commissioned piece right now that is a little overdue. I had some issues and figured out the issues, and now I'm sort of in fabrication assembly mode. And I've got some cement drying right now, so I thought I'd say hello and do a little check-in and talk about something. I had the wildest experience a couple nights ago. So I was thinking about doing this. I had this idea for this post I was going to do for Thanksgiving, for Valentine's Day, and I remembered this old song I'd written a long time ago, and I just had one crappy demo of it that I did. It was called "The Two of Us Become One," and then I had this idea I was going to do a little picture with it, whatever, and just kind of. And I couldn't remember where the song was, and so I finally found it, and I wound up in this I had to open this session on the computer that had all of my old cassette dumps of songs I did like 20, 25 years ago. And I wound up, the post itself wound up being a little bit ambitious for something to just bust it out in an hour or something. I just didn't have the time, so I bagged it for now. But I wound up in this session, and it had all these songs in it, and I started listening back to them. And I spent the better part of, I think, 2 hours listening to, God knows how many songs that were in there. And there were varying stages of this thing, but it was like mid-90s, I think, mid to late 90s, like covering this span. And it was a very particular time in my life where I was coming out of a very bad place. I had a really bad breakup, and my old band Kick Tracy had broken up, and I was kind of emerging into a new chapter of my life. And this was basically me documenting the process of coming into my own creative powers, the way I look at it. And it was fascinating to listen to. And I have to say, there was it's super unique stuff, and the recordings are totally hit and miss. I was learning how to record too, so literally no other human has heard most of them. I never played them for anybody. A few of them I did some demos. I played them for the band. I was coming into a band called Superfine that I did for many years. I was just kind of beginning that, and so I played it for some of them, some of those guys. But the other ones never played for anybody. And just the lyrics and something about them really kind of affected me. And I was trying to figure out what it was, and I realized that this was me documenting the process of coming into arguably one of the most creative periods of my life. And I really hadn't felt that energy in a long time. It was a little bit dramatic because it was a very intense period. And I don't know, it's like I got in touch with something I just haven't felt in a really long time. There's in shamanism, there's a practice they call soul retrieval. And I went to a shaman many years ago, and she taught me how to do this process, and I've done it some over the years. But the concept is that you, as we go through our lives, at certain traumatic or intense moments, we might sort of leave a little energy behind, leave a little bit of the psyche in that spot and move on. And it's kind of like a defense, like too much pain, too intense, if we just kind of put it aside. But the problem is that sometimes we can leave these little like breadcrumbs behind us, and it depletes who we are, and we wind up kind of not all we can be. And I found the process to be super powerful. And I kind of felt like the other night that something's been returned to me, an energy, a piece of me, a piece of something that I'm about, that I really hadn't visited in a long time. And when I kind of got out of the heavy rock thing and moved into a new world, and eventually became a visual artist, as creative and as great as it all is, there really has this opened my eyes. And so now in soul retrieval, once you have been brought back, the process the shaman goes in is to bring this part of you back. And once they do, we have to reincorporate. That's the process, right? Is somehow you have to allow this new sort of energy back into our lives and give it a channel and a place to be at home. And I feel as though a piece of me was brought home. And now the question is, what do I do with it? You know, how do I bring that into my life today, and how do I bring that into my work today? Because we're talking about creativity here, and I'm not 100% sure yet. I just feel something very, very new has come back. So it feels good, but it feels a little odd too. I'm not like I said, I'm not really sure what to do with it yet, but I'll keep you updated. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving a listen, and I will share more soon. So have a great day.